If you're anything like me, you'll worry about electric cars. You'll worry if they can be fun to drive. That's exactly what we're exploring today. We've got a Porsche Taycan 4S, an electric car, and we're driving it on snow and ice, because if it's not fun to drive on snow and ice, it won't be fun to drive anywhere. We're in Finnish Lapland. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, which means midnight effectively, and it's minus 10 degrees. My ears are about to fall off, so I'm going to get in the car and do some driving.
This was our first opportunity to get behind the wheel of the Taycan 4S. We'll drive it again on tarmac roads in the new year, but today, high up in the Arctic Circle, we'll find out what it's like on snow and ice.
But I don't mean this snow and ice, these are just public roads. I mean this snow and ice. That's the Porsche Ice Driving Experience Centre up here in Lapland, where we can really chuck this car around. We're on our way there now, but while we drove there, I wanted to tell you a little bit about this Taycan 4S. Although, to tell you the truth, there's only so much you can learn about the car driving on roads like these. I suppose all I can say for the time being is that first impressions are very good. The ride feels comfortable and composed, steering feels really accurate, lots and lots of performance, really good traction. First impressions are very promising.
The Taycan 4S sits beneath the Turbo and Turbo S in the model range. For the time being, it's the entry-level Taycan. The 4S will cost from £83,367. Like the more expensive models, the 4S is four-wheel drive with one motor on each axle. Between them, they generate 571 horsepower on overboost, as long as the car has the optional Performance Battery Plus and 479 pound-foot of torque. Porsche quotes a 0 to 60 time of 4 seconds and a 155 mph top speed. The range is quoted as 287 miles, more than any other Taycan. The suspension uses 3-chamber air springs with adaptive dampers as standard. Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control, Porsche Torque Vectoring Plus and rear wheel steering are all optional. The Taycan doesn't have the space within its cabin that the Tesla Model S does, but the interior quality is exceptional. The seating position is just so, with a low set seat, and the various screens are all beautifully rendered and easy to navigate. Unlike most EVs, the Taycan is based around an 800-volt architecture. That means the 93.4 kilowatt-hour battery can be charged very quickly, from 5% to 80% in only 22.5 minutes, albeit on a kind of charger that's currently very scarce in the UK. Porsche's Experience Centre near Kittila is a frozen playground.
And it's the perfect place to work out whether or not an electric car can be fun to drive. The tyres we're on, they're just winter tyres, same kind of winter tyres you'd have in the UK. They're not studded, and we're on a frozen lake here. Actually, it's a frozen swamp. But it's pretty much sheet ice with a fine dusting of snow on top. There isn't much grip. Actually, there's hardly any grip at all. So this is all very, very low speed stuff. And we're just going through this slalom section at the moment just to get used to the sensation of flicking the car one way, catching the slide, and then sending it the other way. If we had studded tyres on this surface, we'd actually have quite a lot of grip. And so you'd be able to drive neatly and accurately and stay really close to the little cones. But because it's so slippery, we can't do that. We're having just to work with the car and use the pendulum effect to make it slide one way to the other. So you initiate the slide by turning in and giving it a big stab of, well, it's not gas, is it? What is it? It's not even throttle. Power? Torque? And then the car will slide out and you use the steering and the power pedal to catch the slide. So actually it's not a rear-wheel drive car, so you're not using bundles and bundles, armfuls of opposite lock to catch a slide. You're actually relying on the four-wheel drive system more than the steering to bring the slide back around, because when the car is going sideways, when it knows that you want it to point straight again or go the other way, it'll over-rotate the front axle, the front motor will work really hard, and that drags the car straight again because there's so little grip. The moment you make a mistake and over-commit to a corner, carrying a bit too much speed in, or if your angle is just a bit too big, it's away from you. You've basically lost the car then, and there's really not much you can do to bring it back. The reason you want to make the car slide to get it around the corner is that once it's understeering, you're knackered. There's nothing you can do after that point apart from ride it out and hope you don't hit that tree over there. And when you suss it out, you can link every one of these little slalom cones with a sweet little drift. And then a big drift at the end, and if you get your foot all the way down, all four tyres spinning up, that's 110 kilometers an hour apparently. It's not, it's probably 15 kilometers an hour. It's the end between the two slalom sections that's most fun. It's so slippery. If you get the slide right and you've got the car sliding backwards and you're on full throttle, I just saw 200 kilometers an hour on the speedo.
What makes the Taycan behave in such a distinctive way on the ice is its electric torque vectoring system. It's far faster to react and much more precise than conventional torque vectoring. What's more, on a car like the Taycan, there's no physical connection between the two axles. That means the two motors operate independently of one another. One can be working overtime and the other not at all. While a combustion engine car with four-wheel drive cannot cut drive to the rear axle entirely and only power the front wheels, the Taycan can.
It means this car behaves in an amazing way. It's kind of got this freakish dynamics, this ability to pull itself back from big slides in a way that actually a conventional combustion engine car will never do. And it means that this Taycan 4S, or this electric car, is a total blast. I mean, of course the Taycan is fun to drive on a frozen lake. What wouldn't be fun to drive out there? But today I wanted to demonstrate something quite clever about the torque vectoring in an electric car. When you've got a motor on each axle, you can make a car behave in really funky ways that you can't with a combustion engine and a conventional four-wheel drive system. If you drove like that on the road, you'd get arrested pretty quickly, I know that. The question is then, can manufacturers find a way to transfer this kind of technology onto the road to make electric cars really fun to drive? That's the big question, and it's up to them now to prove that they can harness this amazing technology and make really exciting electric sports cars.
Does the Taycan change the way you think about electric cars in any way? Let us know in the comments. Remember to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the PistonHeads YouTube channel.